Good morning. You are listening to UpReach, a morning devotional presented by the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee, to encourage you as you face the opportunities and challenges of today. Let's begin this day together with some inspiring thoughts from God's holy word. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. What we put into a child's mind and a child's life when he is young is there for good. This is what Ignatius Loyola means when he makes his famous statement, "Give me a child for the first 7 years of his life, and I care not who has him afterward." From his earliest days, we should seek to teach a child to have regard for truth. Boswell tells of a breakfast table discussion with Johnson in the Thrale household. Johnson insists on a strict attention to the truth, even in the slightest detail, an attention which he himself meticulously practices. Accustom your children, he says, constantly to this. If a thing happens at one window, and they, when relating it, say that it happens at another, do not let it pass, but instantly check them. You do not know where deviation from the truth will end. Boswell agrees that once you allow variations into any narrative, you do not know where they will end. Mrs. Thrale objects to what she considers an undue fussiness. Little variations in narrative, she insists, must happen 1,000 times a day, if one is not perpetually watching. Dr. Johnson thunders, "Well, madam, you ought to be perpetually watching. It is more from carelessness about truth than from intentional lying that there is so much falsehood in the world." Dr. Johnson is right. From the very beginning, we should teach a child an unvarying respect for truth. From the earliest days, we should teach a child the meaning of Christian love, Christian consideration, and Christian courtesy. Too often a child is treated to the side of his parents, arguing and bickering and criticizing and differing with each other. He may well unconsciously absorb the idea that married life consists of a continual jangling argument. So often we seem to reserve the right to treat our loved ones with a discourtesy which we would never use to strangers. We must see to it that a child is brought up to have the conviction that the atmosphere of the home is Christian courtesy and Christian love. From the earliest days, we should teach a child the habit of worship on the Lord's Day. Dick Shepherd used to declare what is to happen to a child who is brought up to regard Sunday as the day on which Daddy stays in bed until lunchtime. There is nothing stronger in this world than the force of habit, and one of the greatest defenses of church-going is to make it a habit. Day in and day out, we are inserting into a child's mind things which will never come out. See to it that the right things and the fine things and the noble things are inserted there. What about you today? Are you consciously aware of the influence you may be having on others around you, particularly those within your own family? Why not ask God today to use you as a powerful influence for good in the lives of others? This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street, and I would like to personally invite you to come and share times of Bible study and worship with us each week. We meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock a.m. for our morning worship, followed by our Sunday school for all ages at 10:15 a.m. Then we meet again at 6 o'clock p.m. for our evening worship. We also have a midweek meeting for devotion and Bible study on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.